Hi, I'm Zoe, this is Matt, and we are back at Branson's today, but this time we're not taking demo bikes out. We are joining the guys from Somerset and Avon Police and other ex-police officers on the Raise Your Ride initiative. So hopefully today I'm going to learn loads of hints, tips to keep us safe on the road. We're going to be teamed up with Sarah today. We're going to call her Sarah. Her name's not really Sarah, but for her role, we're going to be a bit discreet. She's been riding for 30 odd years, so she knows everything that we need to know. And I cannot wait. I'm a bit nervous actually. Look at her, she's a beast. She's riding on a 1250 RT. That thing's huge. I'm already nervous about where I'm supposed to be on the road.
The whole point of today is to improve our skills and just to be safer riders on the road. So we're going to go out for a few miles, do some drills, pull over, have a chat, discuss how that segment of the ride went, and then just keep repeating that.
We're starting off today with loads of diagrams, just so we know the rules of riding as a trio. My head's getting a foggy already with P1, P2, P3, but I'm dominating the right hand side of the road and keeping an eye out for Sarah's indicators to let me know where I'm going today.
And there she is, our lovely host. So the instructor will always be in P2, so they'll be in the middle, unless they're overtaken for a specific reason, to do a bit of a teach back style. So that means I've always got to be looking into my mirror, as you should anyway, but to see whether I'm turning left or right, because the instructor will indicate with their indicators.
Ooh, bit of loose gravel there.
Had a first little stop there, had a chat about the last 10-15 minutes of riding. This next bit is about cornering and kind of reading the road a little bit better. So Sarah's up front, she's going to lead it for the next 20 minutes, Zoe will be in front for 10 minutes, and then me and Zoe will swap behind. It's all about following Sarah, kind of following her lines.
Just mirroring everything that Sarah does right now. She checks her mirrors, I check my mirrors. She moves to the left, I move to the left, and we're all about trying to increase our visibility, moving into where the safest line is. She speeds up, I speed up. The bike might have absorbed that bump a little bit better than mine. And the good thing about today is it's completely non-judgmental.
So basically, the police used to run these kind of special advanced courses just for the police riders, and that was kind of before COVID times. Once COVID hit, that stopped. Obviously, all the police forces are struggling for manpower, and they didn't have the manpower, the time, whatever, to kind of maintain these courses. So a few of the ex-policemen, police riders, they kind of took it on, and so now this is their bag. So it's Somerset and Avon, and I'm under the impression that Devon as well have asked to kind of have it incorporated into their areas. this is kind of the initial first step, kind of before doing like a ROSPA or a MyAM advanced rider course. Obviously those ones, they can go onto your insurance, and it might make your insurance a little bit cheaper because it's saying that you're a slightly safer rider. And this Road Your Ride is just kind of like a first step before doing one of those courses.
Sarah was telling us the stats from the road before we began, and even though, and this is for Somerset, we make up what, 1%, 2% of the road traffic, we're at a disproportionate 25 to 30% of the accidents, and then out of that percentage, 50% of those accidents are deemed to be the fault of the motorcyclist. So yes, of course, that's 50%, that's other road users, but unfortunately we can't do anything about that.
So we have actually been advised that where Sarah is on duty, if there is an incident that she needs to kind of attend or that we come across, then policewoman Sarah will take over and she will do her thing. If you were to attend a Road Your Ride event, an event like this will set you back £45 per person. Send off your details, and there's only a certain amount of riders per day. So Branson's are running 2 days. So today is Tuesday and then another one on Saturday. But Neil, he's the head guru when it comes to this Road Your Ride. This is his bag. He was saying this morning that they've got something 150 odd riders booked in to attend these courses between now and the end of summer, which I think is fantastic. Better, safer riders is good for everyone. I've heard nothing but good things from events like this or the ROSPA ones, so I'm looking forward to taking a lot away from today. So I've been riding for 12 years, all different types of bike platforms, touring, track days, on-road, off-road, etc. Zoe, she's been riding for 2 years, but she's done a fair amount of riding in those 2 years because of the channel. But we are both going to be taking a lot away from today. Sorry, I have to keep opening up the visor, so the audio is going to change, but it's really muggy today. Even though I've got a pin lock in this visor, it keeps steaming up. So it's time to change the pin lock, I believe. Like I said, this session is all about cornering. It's all about opening up the road, opening up every corner possible to maximise your view down that corner. So that's the right corner, come over to the left hand side. See the runner, see what's going on, gets a bit tighter. And at some point, me and Zoe will be swapping over, and I'll be behind Sarah. Left hand bend, coming to the right hand side of the road. Seeing it opens up, now we can kind of come into the middle. Not sure where the dip goes. It's right hand bend, over to the left hand side. Slower moving vehicle, it is a 60 along here. Back into the centre. Staying back from that slower moving vehicle on the right hand side. So if we do get an opportunity, we'll be able to safely overtake. And there she goes. There is a vehicle coming. Zoe's made a good choice. She's keeping it open. Zoe on the smaller bike needs to preempt the road a bit more. I'm on a bigger bike, so I can just do that. Right hand bends are your friends on this because it opens up the road the most, where you can see oncoming traffic. left-hand bends makes it extremely difficult, so you might as well just forget the left-handers, as Sarah says, for now.
Great thing about this is they're not there to teach you to suck eggs. They tailor it to your experience, and they watch you ride, so they're pulling off things that, not necessarily you're doing wrong, but areas where you could position yourself a little bit more safely on the road. At the end of the day, they're trying to keep us safe and reduce the amount of accidents they have to turn up to. They're very clear that you ride to your ability during the day.
Cool, that's me overtaking. So I'm now behind, as you can see. Road opens up. Here's a national speed limit, but when you're behind a copper, you can do the 70. That there was a good example. It was a left-hand bend, so we want to be on the right-hand side of the road. We were on the right-hand side, but then a bus was coming, and obviously a bus takes up a little bit more space. So we moved from the outer edge on the right lane kind of into the centre, still keeping a maximum view for ourselves, but a safe distance from the bus. And then once we went past the bus, then moved over to the right-hand side again.
When I first passed my test, I did a lot of this with Matt. I'd just mirror him on the road, and we'd be on the centre with each other, and he'd tell me when he was braking, he'd tell me what he was thinking. He'd be like, right, I can see a left bend coming up, I can see the end of it, so I'm only slowing down a little bit, or you know, I'm now dropping a gear, I'm engine braking, you know, whatever it was, he'd let me know what he was doing. And I found it really helpful, especially going around twisties. And this is exactly what Sarah's doing right now. I think it's lovely that we've got a female police officer showing us the ropes. You don't see many of the police riders being female, so I feel pretty chuffed. It's quite nice for us to have somebody else to ride with. It's usually just the two of us. Danny, get back from the road again. So for a lot of people, they don't do any extra riding training after passing their test. For me, I spent 2.5 days riding before I did my test. Grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of time. Obviously, there's only so much that these guys can teach us in the 5 or 6 hours that we're out for. But they are trying to encourage us to think about signing up for one of the advanced rider courses, and they come in loads of different formats. You've got I Am, Road Safe. I hadn't heard of something called Bike Skills, which is where you go onto track and you learn different skills. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. So again, we've just had a little pull over, and the focus of this next session is just positioning ourselves better on the road. We pulled over on a busy stretch of road, and there were 2 lay-bys either side, and Sarah said about how without that visibility, people do U-turns, bikers try and overtake, don't really think about the lay-bys, and as if on cue, but that obviously happened. I think we were looking for a good place to park the bike. What's happened? We were looking for the photo. The view. This weather. Talk about visibility.
We've just stopped for a spot of lunch and it's turned out better than we thought, thankfully. Actually, it turned out that when we pulled in there was another undercover cop car in training as well, so having a chat with them. Two of them were the fatality crash team, so we were chatting about kind of the bikes, helmet, things that can affect any form of potential collision, and also things that they check out as well. So you can't tell, but I've got a tinted visor, so Zoe, that was mentioned. Foolishly, I did give them our business card so they can watch this video. Hopefully they don't check out our videos too closely. Hey, we're mostly above board, mostly. This afternoon we are going to try and just incorporate everything that we've learned so far. So looking at our speed, looking at our gear, making sure we're not too high, doing our braking before the corners, reading the road, corner positions, ideally on the outside for all the corners, but it's to do with the safety. So if it's not safe to be on the outside of the corner, then obviously you adjust your position accordingly. Let's catch back up once we get out of this town. This is pretty much how the day goes. We ride for a little bit, do some skills, pull over into a lay-by, have a quick chat. But we also discuss the road, any dangers, anything that we may come across, just to make you a better rider. Oh. It's all about training your mind, things that you kind of you let slip. The more the more experience you get, the longer you ride, the more you kind of forget the basics. And that to me is what this is, back to basics. Villages like this, the roads are always quite tight. People park funny with their wheels hanging out, looking for the parked cars on the left hand side, see if anyone's going to open their car doors. Me moving over to the right just in case they do. All little things like that everyone can do every single time they go out. They can just make sure they practice. As Sarah says, don't be afraid to pinch over the other lane. Use all of it. Stay away from the parked cars. There we go. Look at all the shingles and the loose stones. Absolutely treacherous to us bikers. Waiting for that speed gate, i.e. the nationals here, before starting to accelerate. All really simple things that we can do.
Another thing that Sarah said was I kept on getting sucked into the car in front. So I'm going to leave the space or I'm going to overtake. That's the plan. I can see that there's another truck ahead, so I mean, I'm going to rush to overtake. But I don't want to sit behind them. Forgetting about the car in front almost and just focusing on myself.
Sarah has been our instructor for today, so thank you very much from her and the Raise Your Ride team. Also, not forgetting Branson's in Yeovil. If you are interested in doing an event like this, I will leave the website in the description box below. Definitely keep an eye out, and I can highly recommend doing something like this. No matter how long you've been riding, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, get yourself on something like this and it will improve your riding, that's for sure.
Had a really awesome day today. Thanks again so much to the Raise Your Ride team. Definitely worth coming along if you're open to being told where you can improve on and accepting that we've all got things that we can do better. Then this is definitely something you should consider. If you're unsure as to whether you want to do any of the advanced riding qualifications, again, this is a great chance just to test the water and give it a little go. We've had a brilliant day. It stayed mostly dry, so winner.
All that is left to say is if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a like. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. hopefully we'll get invited to plenty more events just like this. And if not, there's definitely loads of reviews coming out very soon. So until next one, ride safe.